What if some of the healthiest foods on Earth were growing in medieval fields hundreds of years ago, and most people today have never even heard of them? Long before supermarkets, supplements, and modern agriculture, medieval farmers relied on tough, nutrient-rich crops that helped families survive harsh winters, long workdays, and uncertain harvests. Some of these forgotten superfoods are still growing today, quietly waiting to be rediscovered. Before we begin, if you love learning about ancient foods, forgotten crops, natural health, and self-sufficient living, make sure to like this video, subscribe to God's Health Code, and turn on notifications so you never miss our future discoveries. Let's travel back in time to a medieval village. Farmers didn't have synthetic fertilizers or modern machinery. They depended on crops that were productive, resilient, and nutritious. One of their favorites was kale. Long before it became a modern superfood, kale was feeding entire communities. Rich in nutrients and easy to grow, it became a staple food across Europe. Another forgotten powerhouse was parsnip. Before potatoes became common, parsnips were one of the most important root crops. Their sweet flavor and ability to survive cold weather made them incredibly valuable. Then there was broad bean, also known as fava bean. Packed with protein and easy to store, it provided essential nourishment throughout the year. Medieval farmers also relied heavily on turnips. These hardy roots grew quickly and could thrive in poor soil. Alongside turnips came cabbage, one of the most versatile crops ever grown. Fresh, cooked, or fermented, cabbage helped families stretch their food supplies through long winters. As we continue our journey, we find barley, one of the oldest cultivated grains in history. Barley provided energy, could handle difficult growing conditions, and became a foundation of many traditional diets. Another forgotten favorite was sorrel, a leafy green with a tangy flavor that often appeared in soups and stews. Then there was nettle. Today many people see it as a weed, but medieval farmers valued it as both food and fiber. Young nettle leaves were commonly used in cooking and provided important nutrients after long winters. Another remarkable plant was purslane, a resilient edible green that still grows wild in many places today. Finally, we come to one of the most overlooked crops of all, Jerusalem artichoke. Despite its name, it's actually a sunflower relative that produces edible underground tubers. It grows vigorously, returns year after year, and can produce impressive harvests with very little effort. What's fascinating is that many of these medieval superfoods share something in common. They were hardy, productive, and required far fewer resources than many modern crops. They survived because they worked. Generation after generation of farmers trusted them because they consistently produced food when families needed it most. Today, as more people become interested in gardening, homesteading, food security, and natural health, these forgotten crops are making a comeback. Gardeners are rediscovering their resilience. Nutrition enthusiasts are appreciating their value. And people everywhere are realizing that some of the best foods aren't new at all, they're ancient. Imagine growing crops that have fed people for centuries, plants that survived wars, harsh climates, and changing civilizations, foods that connected generations through simple, reliable nourishment. These forgotten superfoods remind us that sometimes the best solutions are already hidden in history. As we reach the end of today's journey, think about which of these crops surprised you the most. Was it kale, parsnip, fava bean, nettle, purslane, or Jerusalem artichoke? Let us know in the comments below. Your comments help build a community of gardeners, growers, and health-conscious people who love learning from the past. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend who loves gardening, ancient foods, or self-sufficient living. Together we can help keep these forgotten crops alive for future generations. Thank you for spending time with us here on God's Health Code. Remember, some of the greatest superfoods in history never disappeared. They were simply forgotten. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep growing.